Every year, thousands of talented, hardworking people get laid off, overlooked, or replaced, not because they weren't good enough, but because they were good at the wrong things. The same things as everyone else. Irreplaceability is not a matter of effort. It's a matter of strategy. Promise. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what career capital is, how to identify your unique skill stack, and how to use deliberate practice to position yourself as someone the market simply cannot ignore. Lesson 1: Career Capital Theory. Cal Newport introduced an idea that permanently changes how you think about work. Career capital. The theory is simple. The job market, like any market, runs on supply and demand. If you have skills that are rare and valuable, you have leverage. If your skills are common, you have very little. Think of a concert violinist who practiced for 10,000 hours, or a surgeon with 20 years of specialized experience, or a programmer who built a niche expertise in a technology that only 200 people in the world fully understand. These people don't beg for opportunities. Opportunities come to them. The mistake most people make is spending their careers accumulating more of what's already common, more years of experience in the same general role, more certificates in crowded fields without ever building something rare. Career capital is not about working harder in the same direction. It's about investing your effort into skills that are genuinely scarce and therefore genuinely powerful. Lesson 2: Your skill stack. Most people think of skills as individual items on a resume, but the most irreplaceable people aren't usually the best in the world at one thing. They're the only person in the world who combines 3 or 4 things in exactly their way. Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, was not the funniest person alive. He was not the best artist. He was not the deepest thinker about corporate culture, but he was in the top 25% in all 3. And the combination? That was unique. That was irreplaceable. Your skill stack is the unique combination of capabilities you bring that no one else in your field brings in exactly the same proportion. To identify yours, list your top 7 skills. Now look for unexpected intersections. A nurse who is exceptional at communication and basic data analysis becomes invaluable in healthcare administration. A designer who understands psychology becomes rare in product teams. A sales professional who can write code becomes almost impossible to replace. The question is not, what am I good at? The question is, what combination do I own that the market has never seen? Lesson 3: Deliberate practice applied to careers surprising. Here is the uncomfortable truth about how most people develop professionally. They don't. They repeat. They do the same tasks, at the same level of difficulty, year after year, and call it experience. Anders Ericsson, the psychologist who pioneered deliberate practice research, found that mere repetition produces almost no improvement after a certain baseline. What produces mastery is discomfort. Specifically, working at the edge of your ability, receiving immediate feedback, and correcting in real time. Applied to careers, this looks like this. Stop spending your professional development time on things you can already do. Seek out projects that are slightly beyond your current reach. Volunteer for work that scares you a little. Ask for honest feedback from people who won't protect your feelings. Most people avoid this because it feels like failure. Every time you work at your edge, you expose your limits. But those limits once pushed are where all the rare skill lives. The person who spends 5 years in deliberate discomfort becomes irreplaceable. The person who spends 5 years in comfortable repetition just becomes older. Lesson 4: The 3 levels of autonomy. Practical. Newport's framework for building a career you can't be ignored for has 3 stages, and most people get stuck at stage 1. Stage 1 is proving yourself. You are new, and your primary job is to build career capital to develop rare skills as fast as possible. At this stage, don't ask for autonomy. Earn it. Stage 2 is leverage. You now have enough career capital that you can begin to trade it for control-better projects, working conditions, schedule flexibility, creative freedom. The mistake people make here is demanding autonomy before they built the capital to support it. The result is poor pay, no real freedom, and resentment. Stage 3 is mission. This is where the work becomes about something beyond yourself. You've built enough skill, enough leverage, and enough freedom to pursue something that genuinely matters to you. This stage is rare. It is earned, not discovered. Here is your action step. Honestly assess which stage you're in. If you're frustrated because you don't have enough autonomy, ask yourself whether you've built enough capital to justify it. If you have the next step is negotiating or leaving for somewhere that recognizes what you've built, you cannot skip stages. But knowing which one you're in is the fastest way to move through them. Summary. Lesson 1. Career capital, rare and valuable skills, is the foundation of leverage. Without it, you have no power in the job market. Lesson 2. Your skill stack, the unique combination of abilities you own, is more powerful than being the best at any single thing. Lesson 3. Deliberate practice, not mere repetition, is what builds genuinely rare skills. Discomfort is the mechanism of mastery. Lesson 4. The 3 stages: prove yourself, gain leverage, pursue mission, must be moved through in order. Know your stage and act accordingly. If this changed how you see your career, the next video is already on screen. Watch it now.